The clock is ticking for students who are looking for some financial help with college. Jael Garcia with UTRGV joins us now with more on what you need to know. Welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Great to have you. And let's just start with, even if you think maybe you don't qualify for financial aid, why it's so important to apply anyways.
Right, because basically the only way that you will know if you qualify is once a student submits the application and the university receives the application. So that's why it's very important for students and families not to self-select themselves out, because even though there's lots of different forms of financial aid, there's federal, there's state, there's institutional, and there's really no way of knowing what you will qualify for unless you submit the application and let the university do their processing.
And the most popular federal one that people know is FAFSA, and let's talk a little bit about that.
Yes, the FAFSA application is the one that the majority of students are going to be completing. It can be completed online at www.fafsa.gov. It's one application, and it can be submitted to as many schools as the student wants to send it to, and that's going to be the main one. However, in the state of Texas, we do have students that if they're not U.S. citizens or permanent residents, then they can complete the TASFA application, which is basically the state's version of the financial aid application.
And like you said, that gives them the opportunity to hopefully get some financial help with college as well. And let's talk about the paperwork that people need to have together, because whenever you're filling out FAFSA online, there's several documents that they want you to have on hand.
Right, exactly. The main information that is going to be needing is going to be the income information for the student and the parent. So depending on if the student or the parent, if they file the tax return, then that information is going to be needed. The good news is now it's using income information from an earlier year. So what is being used right now is 2015, which means it should be readily available for everyone because it's from 2 years ago.
Right.
And then also, of course, demographic information like social security numbers, dates of birth, and that kind of information.
And the deadline is quickly approaching. It's next week to apply.
Yes, that is correct. For the state of Texas, it is March 15.
And there are scholarships that are out there as well. We've talked about it earlier on the noon show before, but let's talk about some of the scholarships that UTRGV has to offer for their students.
Right, UTRGV, there are several types of scholarships. One, there's certain scholarships that are just based on the admissions application. So for that, it is very important for incoming students to complete the admissions application as soon as possible, to provide all the test information, admission tests, and so on, because there's some scholarships that are going to be based on that.
Right.
Also, we do have a yearly application for scholarships, and this one is available beginning in September, and then it closes in January for entering freshmen, and in April 15 for continuing and all other students.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Jael, for joining us.
Thank you.